Just before this video gets going, I do want to mention that I have a Discord server. Join if you want to, suggest new video ideas, or come hang out with us. And if you like what you see here today, you'll like pretty much everything else on my channel, so why not subscribe? Thanks. Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Doom: The Dark Ages. I had been meaning to make a video about this for a little bit now, ever since I completed the game a couple of days ago, but a big shout out to the #1 Transformers fan in our Discord server, Bumblebee, for sending this video in the general chat. This video by midnight kind of put me on to some of the crazier things that people were saying about the game, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Now, according to what some people would have you believe on Twitter, this game, Doom: The Dark Ages, is woke for two main reasons, that being because there's a difficulty slider and parrying mechanic, and because of Commander Thera, a character in the game who is voiced by a black woman. And I kid you not, those are literally the only two reasons why people are bitching right now. And actually, this has been going on for a while now, at least a couple of months, ever since the new year started, as a matter of fact. Even before this video was recorded, I looked up tweets relating to this topic, and I saw stuff from like January 27th. I think this situation should show you specifically that now more than ever, the word or term woke has lost all its meaning, and it's literally used as a buzzword that people will throw at anything that they just don't like. I mean, let's just take a look at some of these tweets. 45 says Doom: The Woke Ages after showing a picture of a trailer for Doom with the narrator saying that Doom is for all slayers, following that up with a picture of the parry window mechanic and its slider, which the sliders, to my understanding, is supposed to make the game more difficult, depending on if you turn it up or turn it down. Of course, that's along with the difficulty setting, Hurt Me Plenty, or Nightmare. He goes on to further say that there's no jump button, a shield, a parry in the game, and speed sliders, and that because of all this, Xbox ruined the game and made it for casuals. Out of all the things to actually call woke, and for all the reasons to call it woke, this is probably one of the dumbest things that I've ever heard. There's no jump button. Yo, even some of you guys watching this video already have probably noticed this, but I jumped multiple times in this damn game. That's almost as dumb as saying that there's no shoot mechanic in this game. And the whole thing about the shield and parry mechanic, I mean, I really don't get any hate towards it. It's different for sure, I mean, but yeah, this is a different game. Not every other Doom game is going to be a carbon copy of Doom Eternal. Does it take away from some of the difficulty of the game? In my opinion, not really. It kind of just adds another layer with the whole parry mechanic, because there will be some missions where you have like a whole bunch of demons in one area, and some of them are armored. So when you do a successful parry on one of those enemies, and depending on what upgrades you have on the shield at the time, you're able to clear a room faster and much more efficiently than you would otherwise. And now, while I haven't played the game at a higher speed, I can imagine that all the attacks and stuff coming at you, especially later on in the game when you get into the other dimension, and double especially if you're on nightmare mode, it would be pretty annoying to deal with. Lastly, that comment about Xbox, if I'm really honest, the only thing that Xbox has done for the game and other games in general, and no, I'm not saying Xbox is a perfect company, but them having all of the Doom series on Game Pass for like $12 really is what made the difference between me not getting the game and me actually getting to play it. And that's another thing that I was seeing people complain about too, which was the pricing of the game, because originally it's like $70, $72 with tax, depending on where you are, which, you know, of course I hate the fact that games are more than $60 nowadays, but that's why I'm happy Game Pass exists. So now we'll shift our focus to the second part of why people think that Doom: The Dark Ages is woke, which is Commander Thera's character and her being voiced by Deborah Wilson, a very talented voice actor in my opinion. Gamers, after that uglified female character featured during the last Xbox Developer Direct, Doom: The Dark Ages single player campaign may be woke. Hopefully that's not the case, but let's stay vigilant. As I played Doom: The Dark Ages, I was confused as to why Thera sounded so weird and older. Turns out she's played by Deborah Wilson because of course she is. Genuine question, if VAs need to look like their characters in anime and all that other stuff, why is it always a free pass when this happens? This lady's voice didn't match Thera at all. She looks 25 but sounds like she's 70. It was a really bizarre choice on ID Software's part in my opinion.
We scanned it. It's wired to a detonator. That demon, he's after something. You saw that. We call it the Heart of Argent. Anyone who wields it, they'd have the power of a god.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about in the slightest, buddy. Deborah Wilson is a very talented voice actor. Those of you who might know her from Destiny will recognize her voice as Savathun, the villainess of one of the higher rated campaigns of one of the better reviewed expansions from Destiny, the Witch Queen. And you know, I'm just keeping it real with you, bro. You saying that she sounds like she's 70 while playing a 25-year-old character doesn't make sense in the slightest, especially to me. Like, I couldn't even recognize that this was Deborah Wilson playing the character. I wouldn't say I'm some pro at this, but normally I can recognize when a character is played by a voice actor that I recognize. But the fact that only a couple of people are complaining about stuff like this should lead some credence to how good of a voice actor she is. Otherwise, everyone would be complaining about it. And that's in the day and age where literally people will complain about anything, even if it's good. One of the replies to that original tweet said, because diversity is a one-way avenue, and then showed this picture, which has a lot of white characters or redhead characters played by black actors or actresses. This picture doesn't really make sense specifically for this situation. I get that a lot of people think that there's a redhead purge going on in Hollywood, but it's not even like Deborah's face is grafted onto Thera's, or that this is like a face scan and they put her body into the actual game and now she's Commander Thera. Like, it would be one thing to have the game come out for a couple of months and then have Thera's character stay exactly the same as it is right now, but then patch it to look like Deborah Wilson. Then I could understand people having an actual issue with it, but this just doesn't make any sense. And look, just keeping it real with you, man, this picture probably explains the reason why anybody even has a quote-unquote problem with this, or that it's woke, and it's because Deborah's black. Also, if you're one of the people that are out there saying, oh, voice actors should look like their characters in any form of media, that really doesn't make any sense either, considering the fact that some of the best and highly credited voice actors and actresses aren't looking like the characters that they play. Keith David doesn't look like half of the characters that he plays, but everybody loves him. I really like this tweet by Dragon Cobalt. He says, Doomguy canonically is sent to Mars because he fragged his CO in Afghanistan for trying to order him to fire on civilians, making him the first quote-unquote woke video game protagonist. And while that doesn't directly have anything to do with this entire situation, I just thought it was funny because Doomguy is the same character that's canonically married to an Animal Crossing character. Like, this is actually real. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button. If you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Sub up, stay safe.